Living empowered today, rooted in resilience, powered by truth, awareness, and acceptance.
Susan here from Living Empowered Today. And today I want to gently discuss how the world situation may be affecting our emotions and nervous systems. This week it's really took its toll on me, and I really need to discuss it with you. So, we're talking about fighting sadness with gratitude. So, I want you to take a deep breath, grab a coffee or a tea, or whatever it is you want. And let's take a few minutes to learn how we can empower ourselves to fight back against this sadness with gratitude. You know, the world does feel heavy right now. And if you're feeling heavy right now, like I am, like millions of others, we are watching children in another country um, lose their lives, not being fed on purpose. And seeing violence in America, uh, every state, it's not just one, it's everywhere. And then feeling the just visceral meanness online, and it's just really getting to you. You're not alone. I had to get offline today because it was just so horrible. And for sensitive neurodivergent minds like us, it's a lot to carry. It can feel like we're carrying all of it at once, and we don't understand why it's happening or why it's continued to happen, because it doesn't make sense to us. And we can't fit in it in our head how it can make sense to someone else. Um, Other countries who are sitting by watching this happen. It makes no sense to us. So, but this isn't about pretending that the world isn't hurting. Um, it's about finding small moments of gratitude that keep us soft and grounded, but it can keep us soft enough to keep caring, because when this happens, we become so used to seeing this, and it becomes our norm, our societal norm. But it's not, because we feel inside that this isn't normal, this isn't the way it's supposed to feel. But we want to keep caring, because eventually what I'm seeing, people have stopped caring, and we want to stay soft enough without falling apart. We have to stay functional each and every day. So there's a few steps that I want to share with you. So step one would be to acknowledge the hurt. You want to name the pain before you can even think of what you're grateful for, because it's not just this situation. It could be any situation that's causing you pain, any situation that's disturbing you. And before we even talk about gratitude, like I said, we've got to name the pain. And how do we do that? We either say it out loud or write it down, like journaling. I'm the journal queen. You grab that journal or piece of paper and start writing whatever it is, and uh, don't censor yourself. Every day, just take a minute or two to say what's breaking your heart out loud or in a journal. It could be something like, I feel sadness because these children are suffering, or children are suffering, or people are suffering. I feel powerless, and I wish I could protect them. We want to be honest first. You got to be honest first. Gratitude works best when we don't skip the truth, right? We don't say the word tiptoe around it, right? It's okay to feel this. Naming it is not the weakness. It is not a weakness. It is honesty. And gratitude works best when we don't try to skip over what's real, when we don't try to gloss over reality. And, a lot of people call that spiritual bypassing. I don't do that here. Um, Name the pain. It's take your time doing that. And then the step 2, and you don't have to rush through this, take your time. Micro notice what's still good, little bitty steps. Notice tiny sparks of good in the world. Now, we start looking for tiny sparks because it's overwhelming. So every morning or before bed, every evening, write down or say 3 small things that went right that day or just felt good and nice. It doesn't have to be big or deep, or you have to write a manuscript. It could be something as simple as the way my tea smelled this morning really made me feel good. Or a stranger smiled at me today. That could, being noticed is a big thing. You're not invisible. You matter. Or my body carried me through today, even when I was tired. And this is a big thing for us because our bodies betray us every single day, with different comorbidities and the emotions that take our energy. And noticing kindness is a quiet resistance against the despair that we're facing each and every day. And these little moments remind our brain that the world isn't only pain. Even in the chaos that we're living each and every day, noticing kindness is an act of quiet resistance. And it takes the edge off. It gives you a little bit of hope. And step 3, you want to turn your gratitude into action by living it. Feeling powerless makes sadness so much heavier. And gratitude becomes powerful when we live it out. We can say all these words and make all these platitudes and post nice things, but action, living it out in action every day is what makes it real. So once a week, ask yourself, what small thing can I do because I'm grateful? So an example, again, could be if you're grateful for clean water, maybe donate $5 to a group bringing water where it's needed. We've got quite a few states in America that are going through water pollution right now. Contact those places and see how you can help. If you're grateful for kindness, be that kindness. Reply gently to someone online or help a neighbor. It's hard to reply gently. So I remind myself to reply gently. And I practice Reiki, so there are 5 Reiki tenets, and one of them is just for today, I will not be angry. So replying gently back to someone after reminding yourself, don't be angry, don't be snide, don't be snarky today, it might help them. Every small action fueled by gratitude, it pushes back against oppression and hate. And we've got to push back today against that as much as possible. And step 4, a gentle gratitude ritual. So you want to end your day with a gratitude ritual. I really try to do this each and every night. Sometimes I'm successful at it. Sometimes I'm not. It's okay. Source knows my heart. Finally, before bed, you want to place your hand over your heart and say out loud, today hurt. But I am so grateful I'm here. I'm so grateful I still care. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to keep going. And I will keep going. Just give yourself a break and go to sleep and take some of that off of your shoulders. And just as a closing encouragement to you, being sensitive in times like this is exhausting, but it's also powerful. We're the ones who care enough to notice, to speak, to act. You know, Gratitude is not going to fix the world, but what it does is keeps us soft enough to keep fighting for it, to keep showing up each and every day, to keep being a part of humanity that cares each and every day. And if you try this, I'd really love to hear what little things you're grateful for right now. Because even connecting and sharing them with others is how we help to keep going and how we help others keep going too. So, for 1 week, I'm going to ask you to take some action this week. If this helped you, I want you to try these 4 steps for a week and notice how it feels. Really tap into your emotions, your feelings, and leave a comment or share one thing you're grateful for today as you're viewing this video. Your words just might remind someone else to look for the good too, because it's so easy just to see all the bad because we're immersed in it. And we need people to shine the light on the good. And so be the light this week, not just for yourself, but for someone else. Reach out and touch them and see how they're doing. I'm grateful that I was able to reach out and uh, speak with several people this week just to check on them. And I'm so glad I did, because they are going through such a dark time too. And so just being there for someone who's in that darkness shines a light on them. And if you want more gentle tools, for staying grounded in hard times, just hit the subscribe button or follow me here, because you're not alone. We are all in this together. Have a great aloha evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for weekly empowerment, tools, and truth. Let's live empowered today and every day.